Hello, and how are you? I have a story for you today which I read some time ago. I am a member of the National Trust. The National Trust, it's a charity where rich people, aristocrats, lords and of the manors, their big massive estates and lavish gardens, is given to charities, and they got laws around the country, and you can go there if you pay a yearly membership. You can go there whenever you want and look sort of around the massive big houses and see how the rich used to live. And I'm a member of the National Trust. The type of people that tend to be members of the National Trust are patriotic, nationalistic. They tend to be conservative, cultured people, I might add, and those who are into history and educated. However, just because someone is cultured, educated, and have information, it does not mean that they haven't brought into the left-wing political correctness agenda. Most people have. However, I was quite surprised and astonished that the National Trust members decided that they were going to leave and storm out, even though some of them were members of the National Trust for 25 years. And the reason being is that one character, let me see if I can remember his name while I'm talking to you, but I've got the wrong password, I do apologize. One character, let's see if I can find his name, right, who was a private person, who lived in one of these manors, they found out was gay. Now this man was private, lived a private life, and they found out he was gay. So the National Trust, finding this information that this man was gay, lived a private life, decided that this was a cause for a national celebration. Just because this minor figure in history, how they found out he was gay, I don't know. But they decided because of his sexuality, it was a cause to celebrate, and all the staff had to wear a gay pride badge. Just because this man happened to be gay. And they were forcing this ideology, this liberal agenda, this thought control onto these heterosexuals to celebrate something that they might not agree with. Can you imagine if they told white people you have to celebrate Black history? Or telling black people you have to celebrate white history? Or telling the Germans you got to celebrate Jewish history, or the Jewish you have to celebrate German history, or telling the Chinese you have to celebrate Japanese history, or telling the Aborigines you have to celebrate Australian history. You see where I'm going with this? Everybody has to celebrate gay pride. Everybody has to believe that homosexuality, LGBT, is normal. Now, what you do in your spare time is none of my business. I don't care. Who I sleep with in my bed, I don't want to endorse on you. I don't want you to participate or encourage my sexual lifestyle. I don't want to push it onto you. Why should you push yours onto me? I'm not interested. As a result, the National Trust is in anarchy, an insurrection, a mutiny. And the reason being, these people saying, why are they forcing it upon us? Why do we have to do it? Funny enough, 3/4 of the sheep or sheeple, well, the gay pride, etc. even though they're heterosexuals. I'm not sure if they were thinking about what they were doing when they wore the badge. Did they really approve of it? Did they know? Were they conscious of it? Because in my humble opinion, a lot of people support things without knowing the historical root to it. And that's how brainwashing works. If I say to you, for instance, it's just how propaganda works. You know, you retarget the brain, you rewire the brain with misinformation, false science, and backed up by politics and law, and you create a behavior modification. You create a social engineering. And that's how you control the masses. And unfortunately, history does not paint us in a very good light. In history, it is quite easy to control the masses. And they're doing it today. They've done it in Nazi Germany. They've done it in Britain. They've done it in America. They've done it in France. It doesn't matter where you look in history, you will see where human beings have been manipulated, engineered, and controlled for their agenda. Hence the LGBT, the left-wingers, you know, the radical left-wingers, the politically correct brigade, are deliberately trying to force us to accept, by any means necessary, a sexual revolution, despite whether we're Christians. Funny enough, what's interesting, Muslims are not forced to accept this left-wing agenda. Think about it. Why are Muslims left alone? Why are Muslims not told to embrace gays, to wear gay flags? Why don't the imams and the mosque get targeted by LGBT? Think about that for a second. Got it? It's interesting that the Muslims, the mosque, the imams and Islam are left alone. And yet, the pressure is on you to rewire your tradition, your family values, your culture, your patriotism, your nationalism, your identity, and accept something that you otherwise would not have. Not Ivan Pavlov. Yes, Ivan Pavlov. No, I do apologize. Dennis Skinner in the classical conditioning, rewards and punishments. Every time you wear a gay flag, you get rewarded. If you defend your beliefs, you are punished. As society, the government are creating a new world order structured on rewards and punishment. If you obey the laws, no matter how unjust, if you obey their political agenda, you get rewarded. If you are radical and you awaken and you begin to question the agenda, you are punished. Reward and punishment is the classical Dennis Skinner principle, which he used on rats. And we are the rats in the laboratory they call the world. And the government is experimenting on you to see how gullible you are. And so far we're falling for it. I'm gay pride! I'm gay pride! Oh, I'm gay pride! You look on Facebook, everybody's got a gay flag. I'm not sure if they've indulged in it, but I know that it is impossible to support something unless you're into it. Why should I go and support Eskimos? Why should I go and support the Polish rights? It doesn't affect my interest. Why is everybody having a Facebook profile in a gay LGBT flag? I don't see the LGBT supporting white men's rights. I don't see the LGBT supporting black people's rights. Why are we forced to accept them? I'm a member of the National Trust. To my knowledge, I've never seen any black person there. Yes, I'm a very cultured individual. You know, I like to live well. I like to live well. So soon I'll be joining English Heritage as well. Right? Yes, I'm a member of National Trust. And when I go there, I get stared at. They're not used to seeing a black person, you know, in those places, or the one doing what the hell I'm doing there. And they're having fun, and they're living my life like anybody else. Are they going to have a black celebration because a black man walked in? I should write to them, because their excuse is, oh, we want to enforce our equal opportunity policy. Beautiful. Have a picture of me and let them celebrate me. Put me on a flag. Put me on a flag and celebrate my day. Ooh, a black man came in. Whee! You see how silly, you know, it becomes. Society should be about equality for white males, for black males, for white females, for black females. Society should be about an equal level field where people have the right to their convictions and beliefs. When you start to infringe upon people's beliefs, you become nothing more than North Korea, but done with a smile. North Korea tells you they hate your guts. But no, in Europe, you're going to love each other. They're going to embrace each other, kiss each other, or we punish you. I am in love with the gays. I am in love with black people. I am in love with white people. Hello, can you think? Hello, anybody there? That's the kind of world that we're creating. They're engineering your brain. You think it's about love? The government are the biggest haters out. But no, they give you that shit. You're the rat in the laboratory that they call the earth. They're experimenting on you. But we're too goddamn thick to realize what the agenda is. They're creating a new world order where they are the gods and we are the rats in their laboratory. And they're experimenting on us to control us, confuse us. And we can't see that. Oh, I'm so scared. I just want to be rewarded. I don't want to be punished. Let me give you an example. If I give you this beautiful scented candle, beautiful. Don't touch it! Don't touch it! Don't touch it! And all I have to do is do that, and straight away you jump. I'm conditioning you. You see? I'm brainwashing you. Don't touch it! And all I have to do is that. And you know something? You become frightened. You become scared. Don't touch it! And straight away you saw the orange candle in your brain. I've conditioned you. Now you're thinking of the orange candle. That's how they brainwash you with the LGBT homosexual agenda. You can't question it. You can't think about it. Accept it! Accept it! And that's how they engineer our minds to break down moral faculty and thinking faculty. If you don't think, they will think for you.
You can't handle the truth!